Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome to another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling's Multiverse United, Only the Strong Survive, is in the books. And I wanted to get on here and just review it, give my thoughts on it. It's a pretty dang on good show. Pretty good show. So, wanted to talk about each of the matches, give my thoughts on them. But first off, I want to remind everybody to be sure to check out the link to Game Beauty in the description for an awesome lineup of video game themed cosmetic and makeup products. And if you see something you like and you want to make a purchase, be sure to use the promo code BlitzballChamp. You can get 10% off of your order. So, be sure to use it. Anyway, Impact, NJPW, Multiverse United, Only the Strong Survive took place at the Los Angeles Globe Theater in Los Angeles, California on March 30th. And you know what? It was a pretty solid show. It was a pretty solid show. So let's go over the card. So they did have one pre-show match. That was in the form of two former New Japan Young Lions going at it, as we had a singles match between Yuya Uemura taking on Gabriel Kidd. And I have to say, it was quite a good match to start the show off, or at least the pre-show match. But, you know, it was really good to see these two go at it again. Definitely familiar faces, as both of these competitors are former Young Lions. So it's really good to see, you know, really how far these two have come along. And I actually got to see and meet Yuya Uemura last year via DPW. He actually had a match at the DPW Carolina Classic. So I thought that was really cool to get a chance to meet him and see him in action. But overall, good match. Went back and forth. Both competitors looked really solid. When it was all said and done, Yuya Uemura picks up the victory after hitting a diving crossbody, transition to a pin for the 1-2-3, and Yuya Uemura walks away with the victory in the pre-show match for this pay-per-view. But good opening match. Really, really good. Definitely enjoyed it. Okay, to kick off the main card of this show, we had the X Division Scramble match for the X Division Championship. So, first title match of the evening, and we had Trey Miguel, the current X Division champion, defending against Frankie Kazarian, Rich Swann, Kevin Knight, Clark Connors, and Rocky Romero. I thought this was an alright match, but I really felt like it could have been longer. But I will say, you know, with folks like, I mean, in all honesty, each of these competitors got an opportunity to shine as far as getting a decent amount of offense to where they each look good. I just felt like the match could have been longer. That's pretty much the only complaint that I have about this match. I mean, like I said, Trey Miguel, you know, has been a great X Division champion. He's won this title before. Frankie Kazarian, pretty much an X Division legend. Rich Swann, another former champ, who I've also met, as well as Frankie Kazarian. Kevin Knight was just recently at this past Sunday's DPW Forever Steel Cage Showdown show, so it was good seeing him on this card. Clark Connors, who I've seen live before, as well as Rocky Romero, which Rocky Romero I've actually met. So a lot of talent, a lot of great talent in this match overall, and it was an all right match. I just felt like it could have been longer. That's really my only complaint. But after Clark Connors went on a spear frenzy After hitting Kevin Knight with the last spear, Trey Miguel came in, got rid of Clark Connors, and then pinned Kevin Knight for the 1-2-3 to retain the X Division Championship. So Trey Miguel, still your X Division champion, taking an open opportunity to sneak in, get rid of Clark Connors, and cover Kevin Knight. So smart, and it paid off. So Trey Miguel, still your X Division champion. Okay, next up we had an 8-man tag team match, and this was quite an interesting pairing. Really, really interesting pairing. So on one side we had the team of Fred Rosser, Alex Coughlin, Sami Callihan, and PCO taking on the team of Eddie Edwards, Joe Hendry, Tom Lawlor, JR Kratos. And I have to say, both teams definitely look solid. I just felt the team with Joe Hendry, Eddie Edwards, Tom Lawlor, JR Kratos, which, two of the guys make sense. Tom Lawlor and JR Kratos, both part of Team Filthy. Eddie Edwards and Joe Hendry on the same side. I don't know. It just seemed like an interesting team. But when you think about it, you look at the rivalries on the other side. Fred Rosser, Tom Lawlor. Remember, Fred Rosser defeated Tom Lawlor to become the second strong openweight champion. You have quite a rivalry between Alex Coughlin and JR Kratos. You got a rivalry between PCO and Eddie Edwards. So there's quite some familiar rivalries that really came out in this match. So I thought that was pretty cool. But all 8 competitors were showcased really well. PCO did some high flying. JR Kratos did some high flying. So Alex Coughlin really showed off his strength on a whole nother level, which, I've seen him in action quite a lot, especially through DPW as well. But yeah, everybody looked really solid in this match. And PCO actually picks up the victory for his team after hitting Kratos with the PCO salt, pinning him for the 1-2-3 afterwards. And yeah, PCO, Sami Callihan, Alex Coughlin, Fred Rosser are your victors in this match. But definitely a good match. Definitely enjoyed it. Okay, next up we had a really good singles match between Moose and United Empire's Jeff Cobb. Both these guys, very powerful, very athletic. I know that Moose was definitely the bigger size, especially height-wise between the two. But both competitors, very athletic, and they definitely showed off their athleticism in this match. This was a solid match. Really could have gone either way. It looked like, for the most part, the crowd was on the side of Jeff Cobb, but this was a very solid match. Both competitors showed off their strength, showed off their agility, their athleticism. This was a really well executed match between both these competitors. But Jeff Cobb gets the last laugh as he's able to hit Moose with a Tour of the Islands, pinned him for the 1-2-3, and United Empire, throw your crowns up as Jeff Cobb picks up the victory in this singles match. But definitely an incredible match between these two. Very solid. And it's kind of a nice bounce back match for Jeff Cobb, being that just this past Wednesday he lost in the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship match against Kenny Omega. So this was a nice bounce back match for him. Next up, we had the Fatal 4-Way for the #1 contendership to the Impact Wrestling Knockouts Championship. And you had 4 very solid competitors in this match. And of course, Mickie James joined on commentary, special commentary for this match. But you had Masha Slamovich versus the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo versus Gisele Shaw versus the Pink Striker making her Impact pay-per-view debut, Miyu Yamashita. And I have to say, all four of these ladies looked really great. I definitely like the showdown between Deonna Purrazzo and Miyu Yamashita. Of course, we have to remember, Deonna Purrazzo has quite a good amount of experience working with Joshis. I mean, you got to remember, back in ROH, she's, gone up against many different talent from Stardom. She's went up against Mayu Iwatani. She's gone up against, I believe she's gone up against Kagetsu. And she's even traveled to Japan and has competed in Stardom before. So definitely, Deonna Purrazzo has quite a good amount of experience going against other Joshi talent. So definitely really good to see her and Miyu Yamashita get a segment in this match. So really, really good. Got to give it up to Gisele Shaw. She actually looked really good in this match as well. She really was bringing her A game in this match. And of course, Masha Slamovich, has been doing her thing. She's been looking really good lately. She just recently dethroned Nick Gage in GCW, so thought that was really cool. But all four of these ladies looked really great. Could have been a little longer, just a little longer. Could have been a little longer, but I thought it was a pretty decent match overall. And Deonna Purrazzo, the virtuosa, ends up escaping with the victory as she put away Gisele Shaw with a Queen's Gambit, then got the pin 1, 2, 3. And Deonna Purrazzo back into the title picture as she earns her spot as #1 contender, and she will get a chance to compete for the Knockouts Championship against Jordynne Grace, but it still could turn into a triple threat with Mickie James if she gets cleared. But we know Jordynne Grace is in. Now Deonna Purrazzo's in. So definitely looking forward to that. That should be really good. And that match will happen at Impact Rebellion on April 16th. So keep a lookout for that. Okay, next up we had our second championship match as we had the Impact World Tag Team titles on the line as the champs, Bullet Club, Chris Bay, Ace Austin, defended these titles against Aussie Open, TMDK's Shane Haste and Bad Dude Tito versus the Motor City Machine Guns, former champions. This was a very, very solid, action-packed filled match. I mean, all four of these teams looked really good. Got in a whole lot of offense. Like, this was definitely one of my favorite matches of the card. Definitely, for sure. All four of these teams were showcased really well. And they really went to the distance. Really went the distance. But at the end of the day, Bullet Club, with the Art of Finesse and the Fold combo, back-to-back, 1-2, on Bad Dude Tito, Chris Bay gets the pin 1, 2, 3, and Bullet Club retain the Impact Wrestling Tag Team Championships. Like I said, a solid match. Got to give it up for all four of these teams. It was high action, a lot of high flying, just really good amount of action across the board with all four of these teams. But Bullet Club walks away, still your Impact Tag Team Champs. Okay, next up, we had a phenomenal singles match as we had Lio Rush, the bad child, Lio Rush versus the time splitter himself, Kushida. And I have to say, what a clash of styles here, a clash of speed, technicality, some high flying. Like, these two definitely put on a clinic in this match. It really could have gone either way. Kushida using his striking, technical skills. Lio Rush with his striking and high flying and speed. Like, this was a solid match. One of my favorites. Probably, I would have to say my favorite match of the card. Definitely right at the top. It definitely looked like a match that could go either way. And while it looked like near the end Lio Rush was in control, he looked to hit the final hour on Kushida. Kushida got up and was able to counter with a hoverboard lock. Lio Rush tried, but wasn't able to fight out of it and had no choice but to tap out. As the Time Splitter picks up the victory with the hoverboard lock, but both of these gentlemen look awesome in this match. And honestly, I hope they run it back. I really hope these two run it back. I would love to see Lio Rush get a rematch against Kushida. I would love to see that. These two put on a clinic. So, definitely enjoyed that match. Okay, next up we had our final championship match of the card as the NJPW Strong Openweight Championship was on the line as Kenta, Bullet Club's Kenta, the champ, put the title on the line against Minoru Suzuki. And of course, this definitely turned out to be the type of match I figured it was going to be. Hard-hitting, non-stop. Both these guys were kicking the crap out of each other. We saw submissions and just ruthlessness. Even some dirty tactics as well. Like, all this came out in this match as expected. And it was awesome. It was really, really awesome. You know, both these guys have, wrestled for a long time. Of course, Minoru Suzuki, a very, very long time. A lot of experience under his belt, as well as Kenta. But this was definitely quite the showdown between these two. A lot of strikes, a lot of kicks. Of course, Minoru Suzuki, he loves trading strikes. That's his trademark. That's what he does so best. He loves trading strikes, and this was no different. But Minoru Suzuki came very close, looked to have been in control, but Kenta put forth the dirty tactics, shoving the ref, and was able to sneak in a low blow on Minoru Suzuki, then roll him up for the 1-2-3, using the ropes for leverage, feet on the ropes for leverage, to defeat Murder Grandpa and retain the Strong Openweight Championship. So, not too surprised at the outcome. Of course, Minoru Suzuki didn't take kindly to that as expected. But, Bullet Club. Shenanigans. Not as bad as House of Torture, thank God. But still, I get it. But, hard-hitting match. Definitely enjoyed. Okay, the main event of the show came down to a special singles match. Hiroshi Tanahashi, the Ace, Ace, takes on Speedball Mike Bailey. Now, of course, this was originally supposed to be Will Ospreay versus Speedball Mike Bailey, but Will Ospreay out with the shoulder injury. Replacement, Hiroshi Tanahashi, which was a good replacement. These two definitely showed why they deserved to be in the main event, especially Speedball. And Speedball was hitting the Ace with everything. But it's the Ace. Tanahashi's the Ace for a reason. And he definitely showed that in this match. But got to give it up for both these competitors. They looked really good in this match. I mean, they were hitting each other with everything from hurricane kicks, from the lightning quick kicks, from sling blades and twist and shouts. But when it was all said and done, the ace put the final nail in the coffin and was able to pin Speedball Mike Bailey for the 1-2-3 after hitting the high fly flow to pick up the victory. Great main event. Solid main event. Good show of sportsmanship before and after the match. But definitely is more proof that Speedball Mike Bailey is looking more and more like he deserves to be in the main event, even of a pay-per-view show. And who knows, y'all? Of course, he was a former X Division champion. Who knows? Maybe someday that Impact Wrestling World title may end up going around his waist at some point. Shoot, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind that at all. But I really want Alex Shelley to finally win it. I still want him to finally win it first. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But overall, pretty good show. Pretty good show. Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling with a nice little collab pay-per-view. I thought it went well. And, you know, they're going to continue to keep the action going because, like I said, this weekend's going to be really busy in LA. I mean, they've had all sorts of stuff. I mean, GCW versus DDT, GCW, or DDT comes to Hollywood, or GCW comes to Hollywood, one of the two. But, you know, they got a lot going on this weekend. I mean, you know, tomorrow they got TJPW live in LA. You got ROH Supercard of Honor, which I don't believe is at the Globe Theater, but will be near it. So, yeah, it's going to be a busy weekend, but a very loaded weekend for pro wrestling. Not only those events, you got more Stardom Cinderella tournament action. I believe they're doing rounds 2, 3, and the quarterfinals, if I remember correctly. And of course, you got WrestleMania on Saturday and Sunday. So a lot to look forward to for professional wrestling. A lot of meat. A lot of good, delicious meat, as Chris Wolf likes to say. So hope everybody eats up all that delicious meat this weekend. But that'll do it for this video. Like I said, once again, don't forget to check out the link to Game Beauty. And let me know what your thoughts are. What did y'all think of this pay-per-view? Did you enjoy the show? Do you think this Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling collab went well? Would you like to see more collaboration shows between these two promotions? Let me know what your thoughts are. What did you think of the matches? What did you like? What did you hate? All of the above. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell while you're at it. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the content for another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the 2. My name is Jason Ingram, and I hope everybody has a blessed weekend, and I will see y'all in the next video. Take care. Peace. Happy Pro Wrestling.